Hey guys, happy Sunday morning. Just enjoying the weather, enjoying the beautiful weather, smelling and taking in the fresh air, um, just enjoying it all. And wanted to kind of just share my ongoing kind of optimism for everything that's going on. I'm a big believer in karma. I'm a big believer in the true will of the humankind will prevail, whichever side of the equation you sit, and whichever side of the equation is effectively in the minority, or majority rather. Sorry. In any event, I was listening to X22 Report Spotlight this morning, and he was talking to Siva, I believe his name is, basically the senator, the running senator for Massachusetts, and he was kind of talking about big pharma, the food industry, mostly big pharma, the coronavirus. He was talking about, the contagion, and he was talking about Bill Gates and kind of what they're trying to do, and basically they're pushing towards a vaccine. That's kind of what they're pushing for. Personally, I would be really hard pressed if anyone came to me asking and suggesting putting a vaccine in me. I'm not going to take it. I'm a true believer that healthy eating, living a healthy lifestyle, your body is probably the best mechanism to fend for itself and take care of most of the issues that we see. I'm a big believer, and common sense would tell you that there's so much money in the food industry. There's so much money in the medical, drug administration industry, that they're incented to kind of perpetuate a lot of the problems that are out there. So I'll kind of leave it at that. Common sense and just kind of looking at the big picture would probably shed the kind of lights you're looking for. And you have to do your own research. Just listening to me is only going to go so far. I'm a big believer, again, in just kind of planting the seed and then let you go on your self-discovery yourself. But I think this whole epidemic, if you really think about it, just apply common sense to it and think about this epidemic and the narrative that they're pushing. And we know that the media is a huge propaganda engine, and they can basically push a narrative, real or false, it doesn't really matter. They can push it. They effectively have done that, pushing this kind of coronavirus and its dire consequences of it. And if you look at that in comparison to the flu and other things that happen year over year and the deaths they cause, you have to ask yourself, does it really warrant shutting the economy down like it is? Does it really warrant the measures we're going to? I go out and the streets for the most part are empty. I go into stores, and the measures people are taking to protect themselves from whatever. And I don't wear masks. I'm not one of those people. I think the whole thing is a bunch of BS. Are there people getting sick and dying from something? Yeah, I don't not believe that, even though I know lots of people and I network across the country and the world. I can probably think of one, maybe two people that have been infected by something and they died. I tend to think that because of the financial motivations, because of the motivations for this quote-unquote kind of one world government, because of the motivations of the deep state, who's to say they're not twisting the numbers? They're not twisting the facts to kind of feed the conspiracy that's driving a lot of this. I think there's a lot of people waking up around the world, and we're at that inflection point of which way do we go? But basically, the message I just kind of wanted to put out there, that I'm an optimist. I think everything is going to work out for the best. I think that we need to go through this time that we're going through to clean a lot of things up. I think our administration this narrative is using this time to put a cloak over the cleanup that's going on so it can be done. And I think there will be messaging that will come out near term that will tell us what was being done around the deep state and the cleanup. And many of you out there know what I'm talking about, so there's no point kind of discussing that. But there is something going on. I think the chaos, the noise, the dark period that we're going through right now economically is nothing more than a distraction and a cover for what's really going on behind the scenes. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm optimistically, gleefully looking forward to when it gets exposed and we hear what's really going on. So I don't fear. I think fear feeds the negativity. I'm more of an optimist. And I think that it's all going to turn out well. And I'm just kind of waiting on that to happen. In the meantime, what few people may listen to this, and more, if you continue to project optimism, if you continue to project positivity, if you continue to be hopeful, if you continue to not feed into the negativity and the fear, which is what they want, I think there's more good out there than evil, and I think it will prevail, and I know it will prevail. So again, you need to look at the big picture. You need to look at the 60,000 foot level. Examples would be, whatever happened to the yellow vests in France? What happened to Hong Kong protesters? There's been a lot of things that have come out that we the people were rising up and wanted to not be dictated upon, and those have been shut down through the cover of what you're seeing. So be an optimist. There's a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them, and everything will work out. But in any event, just again, listen to X22 Spotlight this morning. I thought it was a very enlightening interview. Nothing was shared there that I didn't effectively already know, but it did reinforce my beliefs. So I think Dr. Silva, if again, his name escapes me all of a sudden, but I think he's got a strong chance of winning the seat in Massachusetts. But hopefully he's watching his back. People like him that find themselves disappearing and mysteriously, suicide themselves. So he better watch his back. I mean, he's in a hotbed of the country that all this stuff permeates from, and you better be careful what he says and does. But I'm fully behind him, fully support him, and I completely agree with everything he said. So go listen to that. That'll give you the color that drives a lot of my thinking, and let me know your thoughts. Talk soon.